Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey, we're back for another gun show. We're going to have another good time in there. Today, I've got something special in here that I'm going to show you. This is the 1911 that I have been assembling for the purpose of putting our company logo on it. We're going to have a guy do a finish on this. It should be quite spectacular when it's done. But this will give you a before picture. Let me get some light on it. And then we'll give you an after picture when we're done.
He asked what we were doing. Just making sure you ain't got no bullets. And we zip tie the gun so in order for him to fire, he has to equip this.
Oh, what's going on? You made it down to the Miami one.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I put the wife in the hotel underneath.
Thank you, sir.
Just telling the ladies that they need to sit further apart because that much beauty in one place it's hard on a guy's part.
You can't come to a place with so much beauty without money.
Clyde, that may be true, but I have this.
Yeah, I mean, she did her surgery. She kept on, you know what?
All right, guys, we're in here. Let's go have some fun and look at a lot of guns.
The Ruger 9mm PC carbine. It comes with a backpacker stock, so it just clicks into this. They've made it in 22 for some time, but they just came out with this version in the 9mm. The great thing about this gun is it can take the Ruger mags. It can also be switched out with the magwell, and it will take Glock mags. The stock then opens up here, and you can put an extra 19-round Glock mag in there. It'll take any Glock mag that's in 9mm double stack. So you can use the drum mag up to, I think, 125 rounds is the biggest one I've seen.
That's a lot of weight to carry around though.
Right, but if you're going out and plinking,
yeah, plinking is great. Yeah,
you want to go and blow off some steam and rapid fire. Not that most ranges will let you do that, but you can do it.
a lot of them will. Yep. Okay, so this is an M1A. Okay. Basically, it's the civilian version of the M14, okay? The difference between this gun and the M1 Garand is that this has a detachable magazine. The other difference is the M1 Garand is in 30.06. This is in 308. 308 for a long time held all the accuracy records out to 500 yards. Past that, 30.06 took over and held all the records out from there on out. So now they've got some other rounds out now that I'm really not current on the information on that. They may be better than, like the 338, I know is very accurate. But it's like shooting a truck. Wind isn't going to affect a truck as much as it does a Volkswagen.
338 Lapua currently, you're looking at $6 to $10 a round. The 308, it starts at around 70 cents a round and goes up from there depending on whether you're going to get like a soft tip or anything, added to that.
That's one of the reasons why is because they make a lot of 308.
They make a lot of 308 tornado round.
Yeah. I do actually own one of these now. I changed the stock out on mine to a polymer stock. And that's just a matter of personal preference. I kind of did a video on it, but I didn't really take the gun apart and show you all about it. So, but if you want to see an example of this, you can see one in one of my videos. Okay, so this, we ought to recognize this guy right here. Okay. Is this the M14 or the Mini 14 or the Mini 30?
14.
Okay. This is the Mini 14, and if you'll look at it, you'll see a lot of similarities in the action between this and the M1A. They're very similar in the way they're made. Okay. So I have one of these. I have not. I did the video on this also. This is really an amazing rifle.
This one actually shoots the 5.56 and 223. Not all of them do both. So the barrel is going to be the one that's going to be able to withstand a higher compression. The 5.56 is the one that you want because you can
go back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
This one over here only shoots the 223.
Okay. This particular one, okay, shoots the 5.56 or 223 round. not all of them do. And if you want to know what the difference is, the 5.56 round has much higher pressure than the 2.23. So you want to be careful. Do not put 5.56 ammunition in your gun unless it is rated to take that. Now there is another M14.
So it's listed right there.
If you look on the back, M14 5.56 NATO, so that means it will take that higher pressure round. This one over here is also a Mini 14, but it is not rated for the 5.56, it is rated for the 2.23. I don't know if you can see it, the engraving says caliber 2.23 right back here on the back. So, like I said, you want to be careful about this because pressure can be a killer, literally a killer. It can make the gun blow up in your hand or in your face. So, we don't want to do that.
So this is a lightweight version of an AR-10.
So it's 308.
308. If you pick it up, you'll feel the difference between it and, let's say, the danger defense that we have over here in 308.
Oh my God, that's
I think loaded, it's like 15 pounds.
yeah, I have an AR-10. It's an older one, and it weighs a damn ton.
Right.
I mean, it's heavy.
It's not comfortable to carry.
Right.
This is something you could track through the woods with. Not that you would want to go deer hunting with something like this, but you could definitely go hog hunting with this.
I wouldn't have a problem with shooting a deer with a 308.
I wouldn't either.
But
But
you'd only have to have a 5-round magazine in it.
It depends on the state.
Well, here in Florida, yeah. So, yeah, neat gun. I like it. Okay, so on this this Mini 14, on the video that I did, I show you how to disassemble this and how to put it back together again. So that's what our video does. All right.
Okay.
So what we were discussing with Byron here from Manatee Tactical Arms, okay, was this little rifle right here, which it's what they call an SBR, or short-barreled rifle. Okay.
This is actually a mare's leg.
Okay, a mare's leg. All right, tell us the difference.
So the difference between a short barrel rifle and a mare's leg is that this qualifies as an other gun. So this is how it's classified by the ATF.
Okay.
An other gun is going to be not a short barrel rifle, and it's not going to be a pistol.
So this is like a halfway between.
Halfway between.
Okay.
This is also a mare's leg. The length on this one is 12 inches. The length on this one is 14 inches.
Okay.
This is in 44 Magnum. This is in 410.
All right.
This also will shoot for 44 Special.
What we were discussing earlier was that the barrel, to be a rifle, has to be at least 16 inches long.
Correct.
And the total length of the gun has to be at least 26 inches long to be classified as a rifle. So when you buy something, you need to really pay attention to the BATF regs so that you know what you're buying. You don't want to get your rear end in a crack because you bought the wrong gun. Now I'm talking about if you're buying one secondhand from somebody. These guys, they're going to tell you everything that you need to know about it. You're not going to get in any trouble from them because they know what they're doing.
It was mentioned that you could change the rear end on this.
Right.
That would make this gun illegal to own
Illegal.
unless you form on it. So you would have to fill out the paperwork according to the ATF and then wait. You wouldn't legally be able to own the gun and have it in your possession until you had that form. It has your name on it or your trust, and then you can actually carry this gun to and from a range and keep it in your possession. Which is kind of limited stock, that's very rare. 30 carbine. It's not that it's rare,
Right.
but it's a great round to shoot.
Who makes this guy?
This is made by Inland.
That's an Inland, yeah. I've got one, a 1943 Inland that's in beautiful shape in the house. It is actually a World War II era gun. This
is more recent than that.
I wanted to show my cameraman something here, okay? If you will notice, now this is 30-30. It's top eject. And it has this scope mount that allows the case to evacuate. So just because you have a top eject doesn't mean you can't find a scope mount for it that will work with that gun. This is an example right here. This one is in 32.
32 Special.
Okay, 32 Special, which That's another round. There are a lot of 32 caliber rounds. 32, 32-20, 32-40. There just are so many of them.
So you got to make sure you get the right round for this gun.
Exactly. Byron just hit it right on the head. We talked about this before. Make sure that you use the ammunition that is correct for your gun. When I tell you that that pressure is a killer, I have literally seen a gun explode on a guy, and it's not a pleasant sight. It's pretty bad.
Slap rounds.
It was a Savage, which is not a shit. He pulled the trigger, put the bolt of the gun, shoot it off both ways. That pressure is no joke. He's lucky as hell to be alive. That pressure is no joke.
So if you feel this one, this is a shorter barrel. This is only 16 inches, but in comparison to the Ruger, it's probably 10 pounds heavier.
It really is. That's a lot heavier, yeah. That's also an AR-10.
It's an AR-10. This one's in 308. This one's also an AR-10, but this is in 6.53.
Okay.
I really like these 4 guns. This is the Galil Ace in 308. It is a piston driven, which is going to run like an AK does.
Right.
This is a piston driven in 7.62 by 39, which is your AK round, your actual AK round.
These guys are direct impingement, though.
Right, these are direct impingement, but these are piston driven. And these two are the 5.45, which is the Russian version of the 5.56.
Right.
It actually is naturally armor piercing because when it came from the factory, they were steel core.
Yeah.
They don't make them that way right now, or we can't get them because they're made in Russia, and we have an embargo right now, but that's a phenomenal gun.
Yeah, it's a shame. What are you going to do? Look at that.
I mean,
All right, we got a Ruger 1022 over here, actually 3 of them. Okay.
5 of them.
5 of them. I'm sorry, there were a couple more I didn't notice. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one. It shows you can get different stocks with these things. I like a polymer stock when you're going to the woods with it on a regular basis because the gun's going to get banged around. And if you have a really nice wood stock, something you're really fond of, which my Ruger 1022 has a very nice zebra wood stock on it. I don't want to take that to the woods and tear it up. So one of these polymer stock jobs is really a nice little option. Years ago, there was a guy that was making stocks for these things that were actually bullpup stocks. I have one. And it converts the entire gun into something that's just 26 inches long. But what that does for you is it puts the magazine between your elbow and your shoulder. The entire action is up here. And the gun becomes very easy to maneuver. Okay, it's good in close quarters. It's good if you're in heavy woods and things like that. What? Oh. So, anyways, I do like these polymer stocks. They're wonderful for going to the woods.
1022. So this stock comes apart here.
Okay.
I can see it from
Buttons right here.
Okay, so the button's right here. It's a quarter turn, and then it goes into.
Goes right into the stock. Yeah, I could have helped you with that. That would have been nice,
I
right?
can't see it. This one also has the. I'm knocking stuff over.
Yep.
This one also has the place for extra magazines, but this actually holds three.
It holds 3 10-round magazines.
10-round magazines, so you would be able to carry 4 10-round magazines into the woods. If you really want to, again, talking about plinking, because I think it's fun.
I agree. And 22 is affordable to plink.
Right, it's much more affordable than the 9mm.
Where can you plink around here in South Florida?
Where? And pretty much any range will let you plink 22.
Yeah.
The question is can you do rapid fire? A lot of range safety officers don't like rapid fire. Drum magazine from GSG. It fits into a Ruger 1022. So with this, you can blink for a long period of time. Really had very little jamming issues. The other manufacturers of this have had that type of issue, but I have not. It's really a great thing to add to this type of purchase, because not only is it affordable to shoot, you can shoot all day. You don't have to keep changing magazines over and over again. If you do have out of the 110 maybe one that doesn't fire properly, you clear the round and you feed the next one. Desert Eagle, chambered in 50 AE. This is a Cerakote. It's a distressed white Cerakote with a Grim Reaper grip. It's a beautiful gun. It's brand new. Just the sheer size of it.
I actually have one of those, and I did a video on it, showed how to take it apart and put it back together again for cleaning.
So on this side, it's just a beautiful gun.
You know, the only
Take me through the rest.
Yep. So you have the HK45, or this is actually the VP9 Tactical. The VP9 Tactical comes with a threaded barrel, and it comes with a raised sight, so you can see over a suppressor. It's a great gun. HKs, you can't go wrong with them. We have two of those. The 45, HK45, this is just the standard HK45. It's also a great gun, just a bigger round. Lipsy's came out with a rendition of the old Gen 1 Glock for SHOT Show this year. So that's what that is. It comes with the Tupperware case, like they did back in the 80s.
back in the day, yeah. Kind of nostalgic and fun.
Nostalgic and fun. Glock, when they first came out, they were made fun of by all the other manufacturers. They were called throwaway guns, and Mr. Glock decided to prove them wrong. He did a torture test on a gun. I believe still one of them's in the water outside of his factory in Austria, where he just leaves it out there in the water and takes it out and shoots it every once in a while. Like literally, they go out and shoot it. 40 years old. The gun, they submerge in water, they submerge it in sand, they submerge it in mud. They fired over 10,000 rounds through that firearm, and the only malfunction they had was because of ammunition. So when you have a gun that works that well, yes, you can throw it away after you're done using it. Well, why would you if it still works?
It's an extremely reliable gun.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with the Glock is that I personally don't like the trigger because I'm spoiled rotten. I've shot the 1911. The 1911 has that short trigger pull and it's a crisp break. It's very clean. Now it is a double single action gun. So unless you're talking Series 80 and that's double action. But with these guys, it's kind of like your first kiss. It's something you'll never forget. You know? And after shooting one of these and then you shoot a striker type, it's a very different type of trigger pull. And I don't like it as well as I like the 1911 that I have in this box. Funny thing though, it's in a Glock box. How do you like that?
Because they make good stuff.
Yeah, they do. They make fantastic guns.
They're not known for being the prettiest guns, but they are great shooters. Like
I have
it's
a
just
Glock
super reliable. Glock 21 is going to be in 45 ACP. We do have a Glock 21 here, but we'll get to that in just a second. The next one I want to talk about is the Glock 19 Gen 5. It has serrations on the front and the rear. This is one of the most popular guns on the market. However, what is taking over is the Glock 43X. The 43X is a smaller frame gun, which means it's more easy to conceal. It holds 10 rounds. Unless you change out the mag release, you can change out the mag release to a metal mag release, and you can put a 15-round magazine in here. It holds 15 rounds, no problem, and it's flush to the bottom of the gun. This is a 43X that has an MOS cut, which means that you can put an RMR, which is going to give you the red dot option right on top.
That would be the holographic sight,
Right,
correct?
the holographic red dot sight. This one is a special edition. It's number 700 of 1,000. It was made by Tallow for the U.S. shooting team. So it's a very special edition on that one. This one is going to be the Glock 21 in a short frame. The short frame is not what makes this one special. What makes this one special is the picky rail. Glock and Piccadilly didn't get along. So this was only put on the gun for a very short period of time because Glock didn't want to pay the royalty for using this
Picatinny rail,
Picatinny rail. This is a special edition as well. It is a high gloss stainless made by Tallow. These are consecutive numbers, so 151 and 152. So I would like to keep those two together. You can buy one, you can buy one, you can buy the other, it doesn't matter. This one is a Glock 17 with a compensated slide and a compensated barrel, which means that you have less weight and you're going to have less
Muzzle rise.
muzzle rise.
Right.
This is a Glock 19 Gen 5, but it also has the MOS. This one also comes with a bunch of different plates, so you can put a multitude of different RMRs on it.
Sometimes we tend to talk in acronyms, and we sometimes forget that we need to speak English, instead of speaking acronym. And so that's something that I have to be careful about. We try to do things on an entry level so that everybody gets the picture the same way. Okay, so we were just asked the question, what does RMR stand for? And to be honest, I had to look it up. It's a good thing for Google on the cell phone. So it turns out that it stands for ruggedized, as in made rugged, miniature reflex sight, which reflex sight is another name for a holographic sight. Okay, so that's what the RMR means. Earlier we saw Walther PPK S, and I was showing you the difference back here on this little beaver tail back here. If you'll notice, it's smaller. It's nowhere near as big and doesn't stick out as far. The other thing is, if you look, my fingers just don't fit on this frame. The gun is much smaller, not much smaller, but slightly smaller than the PPK S. The S has got a little longer handle on it. It's a little more comfortable for me to shoot. This one is chambered in 22 long rifle. This one is chambered in 380. Okay. 22 long rifle is always great because it's inexpensive to shoot and you can have a really good time with it. I want you to take a look here. This magazine extension is one of the things that makes that gun a lot more comfortable to shoot. If you notice, I don't have any trouble getting my hand around that one. It'll sit. If you'll notice, I can get my hand around that one pretty well. Now on the one that I own, the problem I have is when I get my hand around it, if you'll notice this meaty part in the web of my hand, it's kind of going up over the back of that dovetail, or beaver tail, excuse me. So on mine, when that slide comes back, it tends to catch my hand because it's shallower than this one is, quite a bit. And also, I tend to get the hammer hitting on the beaver tail and actually pinches my hand. So the gun just bites the heck out of me every time I shoot it. So now I want to be clear. I don't like to shoot this gun for me, but I've got very big hands. So what you got to remember though is that this is a really top-notch gun. They are manufactured really, really well. It's a terrific gun. And it's hard to go wrong buying one of these. If you're looking for something that's small and easy to conceal, man, that's a gun for that. That'll do a good job for you.
This is the Smith & Wesson CSX in 9mm. It's a subcompact gun that has a hammer on the rear. It's a beautiful gun. It holds 10 rounds and comes with 2 magazines.
Fantastic.
This is the Taurus TX22. It's a 16+1 in 22 long rifle. It's very easy to work with. This is the entry-level model of it, but it does come with a external safety. Then you have the compact version of this gun. This is the TX22 Compact. It comes with a cut RMR slide, also known as an MOS,
right.
And it has the cuts on here as well to cut down on weight.
Right.
One comes without the external safety, one comes with the external safety. The safety is actually built into the gun on both of these as well, so it has 3 different mechanisms to keep the gun from firing unless you're physically pulling the trigger. So you can drop it all day long and it won't damage or it won't fire. The SR22 is made by Ruger. Beautiful gun. It also shoots in 22 long rifle. The SR22 is trying to compete with Taurus. Taurus was the first to market with the high capacity mag 22 long rifle. Glock 44 did it. FN 502 did it. The SIG P322 did it. They've all tried to match the reliability and form of the TX22. That being said, you have the Bursa. It is a 380 Bursa. The great feature about the 380 Bursa is that it will not fire at all unless the magazine is in the gun. In addition to that, it comes with a lock right here. So if you leave the gun around your kids, you can lock the gun. Not that you shouldn't teach your kids gun safety, just like they shouldn't touch a hot stove, they shouldn't be touching your gun unless you're doing training with them. The next one's going to be the North American Arms. It is a revolver. It's a 5-shot. It holds 22 Magnum. It will not fire unless the hammer's back, so you can put it in your pocket, just leave the hammer up front before you cock it. This one is going to be 1 1/8 inch. This one's going to be 1 5/8 inch. The only difference between the two. Then we come up here to the Sky. The Sky is going to be an entry-level gun. It has a very long trigger reset. It has a very long trigger pull, but it is an affordable gun. It is a sub $200 gun in 9mm. We come up to the Ruger. This is the Ruger LCP 2. The LCP 2. I'm sorry, it's not the LCP 2. Let's start that one over. This is the Ruger LCP, but it has the stainless slide. It is chambered in 380 ACP. We come up to the Ruger LCP 2. This is the polymer version and the blued version. It is one of the worst guns to shoot. It pops and tries to jump out of your hands. It's like trying to hold onto a firecracker when it goes off. It's just my personal experience, and I don't mean to speak bad against Ruger. The reason these were designed is so you could put it in your sock. That's really why they were designed, is so that you could just stick it in your sock and go. I've done rapid fires with these, and out of the 6 shots that are available, I think 2 hit the target at 7 yards. So 21 feet away, I hit 2 out of the 6, and I'm a good shooter. We come up here. These are very affordable 22 long rifles. They're single action only revolvers, which means that you have to put the bullet in one at a time and then rotate the cylinder this way. As a matter of fact, it won't let me do it because it has the safety here. They require this at the gun show. This is in a 6-inch and a 4-inch, I believe. We come down here to the Taurus 605. It is chambered in 357, which means it will also take 38 special. It is a very affordable gun. Taurus got their start when Smith & Wesson pulled out of Brazil. So Taurus took over the factory and started making the guns in that factory because the cost to move the equipment out of the factory would cost more, so they just hired the staff that was there, changed a little bit of branding, and essentially you now have a Smith & Wesson gun for half the price. The Rock Island revolver here is a very simple design, affordable. It's a sub $300 gun. It shoots only 38 special, but then you have the same model, shorter barrel, and a different grip in 38 special as well. Again, sub $300 gun. The next one's going to be just a fun gun for like novelty purposes. It actually is a belt buckle and a functioning firearm. However, if you were to try and get to that firearm quickly, you're going to have a hard time getting to it, cocking it. In a case of an emergency, it is one of the most impractical things in the world, but it's a fun story or conversation starter.
Completely impractical.
Completely impractical,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
But it is cool, yeah.
It's a great conversation starter. It's like for somebody that has everything,
Yeah.
but not a belt buckle that has a gun in it. I mean,
Pretty amazing.
Father's Day's coming up.
Yep. Hey, give a man a chance, he'll come up with anything.
Right. And people are going to laugh and they're going to buy it.
Yep.
They're going to stick it in their safe. They're going to wear it every once in a while.
Something we were talking about earlier was that 22 caliber.
It is
And
chambered in 22, yeah.
That 22 caliber is no joke. People think, well, it's 22 caliber, it doesn't have any punch to it, but that is just simply not true. 22s have really incredible penetration, more than you would think. And
They don't misfire.
well, they rarely do, but they do. But one of the
Dirty.
things, yeah,
That's the downside to a 22 is that it's dirty.
it's dirty, yeah.
So in most cases you have to clean your gun more frequently. But again, I was talking about the TX22. I've never cleaned mine. I mean, I've shot well over 3,000 rounds through it. I've never cleaned it.
Yeah.
This gun is super reliable, and I talk about it all the time.
Personally, I always recommend if you're going to carry a gun on your person, take it out and clean it every 2 weeks, without fail.
Because you're going to get lit in there.
Yeah.
That's good. Good point.
Ready?
Thank you, Byron, very much for this run through. We really appreciate it.
Have a blessed rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much. We'll probably come and visit you sometime for break.
That'd be nice.
All right. We'll see you then.
Blow some tannerite in.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey listen, if you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's really important to us. And make sure you like us, and by all means, come to visit us at askbill1911.com. Okay, we got some neat things here. This is a saw, it's a civilian version, okay, shoots 5.56. That one may not be though, maybe a 60, that's pretty big. Yeah. You're waiting for Crocodile Dundee to come out and say, now this is a gun. Yeah. All right, so here's your Barrett.
Barrett, yeah.
Okay, and believe me, if you had to carry one around all day, you wouldn't bear it. Trust me, it's heavy. I know it was a pun, but so this is a flamethrower here. Pretty cool. That thing's really hot. Oh, that's probably 50 BMG. I didn't read the tag. They do come in other calibers than just 50 BMG. But there's your Barrett. Shotgun with a unique looking handle on it. Okay. It's a Mossberg. I don't know if you can see that. All right. So Mossberg makes a fine shotgun. But that one kind of has a unique handle on it, so we thought you'd like to see it.
What's going on, guys?
We brought you a gift.
You did?
Yes.
What do you got there?
He ordered 2 of these things online, and he thought they were very neat. So we thought we'd bring this little guy to you.
You shouldn't have.
It's modeled supposedly after an AK-47. It's got a little flashlight on it. Yeah, it's
Well, it's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
And you're Pete and Carol, was it?
Caroline.
And Pierre.
And Pierre.
And
The
Pierre.
mascot.
Pierre, there we go.
Pierre's a mascot. Come here, Pierre.
We have Pierre over there.
Look.
Yeah, this is what you
Want cookies?
Oh.
Pierre's the mascot.
And this is the case.
Nice little gadget.
Isn't that cute?
I probably will use it a lot around the shop. How do you,
That stands
how do I
up.
turn?
You
Oh.
crank it on and off, and it's you
Oh,
got
I
your little-
like it.
That is so
LED
neat.
light.
I like it. That way I can, if I need to take care, I gotta
You don't
watch
see
the
close
path.
up when you
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, like I said, he ordered 2 of those, so he thought you might enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to enjoy it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, we're back with P&C Knives over here. And Pete's going to tell us about a Rambo 3 knife that he made. He said he didn't do it just exactly the same way as you see in the movie.
Right, this is hybrid.
This is a hybrid, okay?
Now this one is probably 1.5 inches shorter,
Okay.
a little more maneuverable. The original knife is between 1/4 and 5/16, depending on the maker. The real Gil Hibben is 5/16, and it's $2,000 to
Yeah.
$2,500.
Yeah.
This one I made a little past 3/16 in an 1100 layer super twist with 3 core steels. Even though it's a hidden tang in the handle, it's still a full tang all the way to the pommel. And the handle happens to be African winging. The nice wood makes for a beautiful handle, lasts a long time. This thing's got a nice cantelure, 1 on each side, and I put a vicious edge to finish it off. And the thing is that it feels right, a tiny bit front heavy, but you want it that way for large knife to chop. Solid Damascus guard and pommel pinned all the way through. And try this one out, Bill. See how it feels.
It does feel a little nose heavy to me, but it's like everything you make in here, though, they're just gorgeous. All right, I'm going to try and rock this back and forth so you can see the pattern a little better.
Yeah, the pattern's beautiful.
Because
Very lightly etched.
it's just gorgeous. Okay, and if you look here on the guard, it's also the same beautiful twist pattern in there. And back here on the pommel is the same way. Okay, take a look at that. Is that beautiful work or what?
The marriage between the Damascus and the handle material is probably some of the nicest work we've done.
It's really spectacular.
And the fit feels good.
It's a
If
very
we make any
comfortable
more,
grip.
we will try to thicken the tang some to counterweight the balance a
Right.
little bit.
Right.
But overall, it should be a pretty nice knife.
It's a beautiful
I want to show you guys something that I really worked on that came out beautiful. If you got an extra film in there?
Oh, we got plenty. Never have
Come
problems.
over here. These are the triple B's. These are my black bark buoys. I did a matching pair in a black canvas micarta, hand sculptured, hand dimpled. I did both of them. I left the tangs polished, and then on the blade, this is another 1100 layer super twist, but on the vine file work, I mirror polished the vine file work.
Right on the spine.
Well, you can pick it up and show it.
Okay.
Vicious edge and polished guard, solid Damascus. You can see the edge.
If you look,
But
like you were saying, all of this is polished on the edges, okay? You can see the Damascus pattern through the guard, but right here on the spine of the knife, you can see that it's polished here, and I'm hoping you're able to see that on the camera. I think you will, okay? But again, look at the pattern that's on this. When they make these, okay, they twist the steel together. It's two different consistencies of steel, or two different alloys of steel.
7,000.
And then they dip it into an acid, okay? In the acid,
This is
the softer steel gets etched more deeply than the harder steel. And that's what creates this pattern. So you'll see a roughness on the softer stuff where it's etched, and it'll be shinier on the harder metal, and that's what you end up with. You get that beautiful pattern out of it. Pretty neat, huh?
That's a beautiful set. I'll probably either get rid of them probably as a matching pair. Somebody falls in love, if not, somebody can buy them individually. Here's something that first time offering. I've made a few, but I'm doing a by popular demand out on the West Coast. My Nordic or Scandinavian style fillet knives. I use American black walnut. And with a 768 layer fire, nice tempering on it, beautiful flex, because Damascus, if it's not heat treated properly, I don't care how thin it is, it's not going to have any flex. You got to go back and forth, normalize, heat treat, normalize, and you get the right.
That's called thermal cycling, is it not?
It is.
Okay.
For the folks out there that may not
Right.
get, there's a lot more to heat treatment than just forged in fire in a bucket of oil.
Yes.
Here is another newcomer, which are small individual paring knives. These are in fossil giraffe bone. They come with a simple bullhide sheath, vegetable tan. This is 1,000 layer super ladder. The tips are extra carefully tempered. They'll last you forever, and they'll look great. Giraffe bone and the canvas micarta that I use on my military grade fighters and military knives.
This micarta is a very tough material. It doesn't crack easily. It's good stuff. It's very solid handle.
It's great stuff, and it's people proof.
Yeah.
World proof. So I use that on a lot of my stuff, guys. But that's always new, sure.
Would this be considered like a competition chopper or what?
That is actually a survival bolo,
Okay.
and I'll guide you through it. As a competition chopper, I do make them, but I can show you, once I finish here, I'll show you a picture of what a competition chopper should basically outline. There'll be a little variation, but basically this will be it. This, survival in many ways. 3 separate edges.
Right.
Front razor edges. Pry-in bar, hole, can of lures for weight distribution, and a razor sharp bone or wood saw. And this one's an 1100 layer super twist. And this was originated with the Russian company Kislar, which I found a great design, but the quality wasn't there. The heat treatment wasn't there. I had a client bring me one first used and broke right past the handle at the heat treat mark. So I made him one, let him take it out for a test drive for a month, and I told him, pay me if you love it. Needless to say, a week later I had a check in the mail, and he was ecstatic. And the sheath is bull-hide. You're ready to go even to the toughest environments. Bar none. Full tang. You've got something to really help you out of a jam if needed.
Yeah, I was curious about that because it kind of reminded me of a chopper, but it didn't look quite like it should.
The
That's why
style
I was
of the
asking about.
handle and the blunt look. But I will show you a refined chopper that I call a Peter 160. Yeah, it was a Texas favorite for barbecue ribs. That's it right there.
Okay, cool.
You see that?
Yeah, so
that
it's
one
got
is
a
a
little more
giraffe
curve
bone.
to the
I
blade,
threw the
right?
full through fullers because if not the weight, because sometimes I make them half-inch thick. That billet of Damascus is hard to find. I can't do one that thick, but you've got to really look. Luckily, I got a little place in Germany there. You see the thickness of that chopper? Fossil giraffe, look at that. That's a beautiful piece. I'll have some of those finished before the summer's out.
You could cleave lots of stuff with that, dude.
Well, you know, some people need something like that. Some people don't.
Yeah.
I make it, I offer it, and if the situation comes to fruit that you need it, I make it. And if I don't have what you need at the time,
You can make it.
well, you can place an order with me, and we can modify it 20 different directions. And the bottom line is that I promise you will be happy when you pick one up. The edges will be beyond reproach.
Well, I've got to tell you, I said this the last time we were here and we saw these guys, but these knives are beyond exquisite. They are just, I mean, they almost take your breath away. They're so gorgeous. They've got feather patterns. They've got ladder patterns. You guys do teardrop or raindrop patterns, right?
And we do a reinforced raindrop called Fireball.
Fireball. I'd
Yes,
love to
sir.
see one of those.
I have some, and I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
Raindrop, we do 1 or 2 3/4 steel. Our Fireball starts where raindrop leaves off. We start at 4/4 steel and higher. And I'll show you an example. Hold on, let me get the raindrop so you can see the raindrop. This is a nice little miniature Punisher that I did in a beautiful raindrop, okay?
All right.
That is a pretty nice, consistent raindrop,
Look at that.
okay? Now, Fireball goes, this is Fireball.
Okay.
You go ahead and look at it so you can see in the light.
Okay, yeah, look at that.
That is,
All right, if you look in the individual drops, you see a lot more layers to it. Okay.
a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
All in strength oriented.
Now this one you can see there are fewer layers.
Turn it over again.
All right. Okay. You see those? Are those amazing or what?
This is an 816. This is a 512.
Let me not bang them together.
But with four core steels instead of 3.
Are those beautiful or what?
Okay. That is it. His name is engraved underneath. I won't show that.
Oh, wow.
And that's that lava fire at 1,000 layers. Polished. Not. You can even feel and look towards the tip. I drew out the steels. Look at that.
Yep.
See
I
that?
see it, yeah.
Is that beautiful or what?
Yeah, that's
Show
magnificent.
that. That is an arrowhead shape. That is that knife has seen more action than Wrigley Field, okay?
Yep. That reminds me very much of the old Roman spear tips.
Right, right. But that's a mixed strider
See if you can get in close on this, and I'll show you something interesting. What he was saying about drawing out the steel, when you work it on the anvil, as you compress the steel further and further out toward the end, you'll notice that the pattern actually gets a little wider as it goes out.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's narrower as it goes in. And that's where the tip was drawn out to that point.
That way he got more of the high carbon layers right at that
Right at
critical
the tip where you need it.
That one right there will go through bone and Kevlar. That you use like at a butcher or chef. Do it with you. I mean towards you, against the edge. You can do it either way with you, but always into the edge.
I always
It's
prefer to do it away from me because I'm afraid I'm going to slice my hand off.
You have ceramic for the smoother, thinner edge profiles on smaller folders, and this is a coarse diamond style, thick for edging rough, big knife edges. All right, but this one is my preferred. Once the knife, the edges that you see are achieved, you want to use a 600 grit. This happens to be a buck diamond oval, one of my preferred. And as you feel my edges, they're all
sharp.
They are, and this is a leather strop just like your old barber used to have. This is to deburr when I pull it off of my belt or the stone. And this one, this side is saturated honing oil. Base hardware is fine. No sense having to spend a lot. And polishing compound, white, fine. And it takes your ugly edges and it turns them into not cut a hair, but split a hair. That's the difference.
Yep. That makes a huge difference. I stop all mine. What happens on the knife is as you're grinding the edge, what happens on the edge, you'll get little feathers that go over from one direction or the other. And what happens when you use that strop is it will grind those little feathers off to where you have a nice uniform sharp tip on that edge. And it will cut like nothing you've ever seen.
I make the real.
Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey listen, if you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's really important to us. And make sure you like us, and by all means, come to visit us at AskBill1911.com. Okay, we're here at the Gun Mag shop, and we're going to get a demonstration on what I just showed you just a minute ago, this device. This device is a patented device, and we're going to see the inventor of this device is going to show us the magazine. Now, he doesn't want his face on YouTube, so we're not going to do that. Here we go.
So this is a great loading machine for any AR-15 magazine. For example, we're going to show 30 round magazine goes in here, it's clicked, then we opens up. So it takes 20 rounds at one time. So we're just going to load about maybe 7 or 8 or 10 pieces right away in here. So it goes, everything face down. So this is enough. We have like 12 rounds. We just simply push it all in there. So we're just gonna take it out. All the magazine is here. So this is a great tool. Now we have the release button, which is this little piece that you can remove them as well. So you can just put them out. We also create another features that you can put this on a hook, put it on your book bag or on your belt. This is a perfect size of 13 inches to fit in your bag, and you can travel with it. We also have a safety pin in here, so this way it's not gonna open up while you're carrying it in your bag. This is the release button, and you can simply open it.
What a beautiful invention.
Thank you. We have exactly the same thing for AK-47, 7.62 by 39.
I'll tell you what, when you're loading these things into the clip, one at a time, if you're loading a lot of magazines, you start loading 100 rounds or so, you know you loaded them. But you put that thing in, zip, you're done. That's fantastic. What a great little machine. All right, everybody, this is more about what I'm talking about. We have always at the show, there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be here. This is why I say there's something here for everybody. Take a look at all these.
Pakistan. All this stuff
This is all made in Pakistan.
we make
Okay.
in Pakistan.
Since 1992. And what is your name, sir?
Yasin.
Yasin?
Yeah.
Yasin? Thank you for bringing all your wares out. They're very interesting to look at, and I hope you sell a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much. Put that knife right there in the middle. That's very similar to an ulu, which is, I believe, an Eskimo name, but I'm not certain. I'd have to get clarification on that.
This basically the blacksmith. And my grandfather was blacksmith. If you know the Pakistan Wazirabad,
I don't know.
you know the Pakistan.
Yes.
They have a city. The name is Wazirabad. They all people make the knife.
Right.
And I start making the knife, these and this one in Pakistan.
Okay.
So I come over here, June, July, I go back and come back again in September and I sell all this stuff.
So you made all of these?
All these
Very
stuff,
cool.
all these.
Well, the handles are quite beautiful.
Thank you.
Look a lot sexier if you do it. Okay, look, it's hot shots. Why you doing this?
Okay.
All right, check it out. Here's how you do it.
Okay, how does this work?
All right, so our company is Hot Shots. There's a button inside here. All you do is press this button. You can see it crystallize as it heats up to 130 degrees.
Wow.
And it's reusable. So you can do that over and over and over as many times as you want. We literally have a lifetime warranty on the product. It's all made in USA. The little ones last about an hour before they cool down.
Okay.
The lower back with the back strap is 2 hours. The neck and shoulders, our most popular size. This is 2 to 3 hours every time you push the button. And then this big round one lasts up to 4 hours.
Wow.
Eventually it's gonna cool down to a solid. Drop it in boiling water for 10 minutes. That's gonna melt the crystals right back to liquid, and then it's brand new, ready to push that button all over again. And you just keep doing it over and over and over. It never stops.
What's the name of your company? What's your website?
So it's Hot Shots with a Z, and our website is reusableheat.com, and then you can find us on our Instagram at Hot Shots.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Can you switch it back to the blue now? Oh, look at that. Ooh. Looks like a sunset. Ooh, purple yet. Look at that. You know, that purple really seemed to accentuate the difference between the silver and gold, though, from out here. At least it looked that way to me. The blue just makes them kind of all look like they're the same color. There's a green. Yeah, see that one you can, honestly, you can really see the gold and the silver really well with that light. That might be a good display light for you. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's just the gold really stands out with that light. I wanted to...
So Bill, what do you want to do?
huh?
Did you want it to have a certain depth, a different color or something?
Well, I wanted, like I said, I just wanted it to be black, and I was hoping that we could do the logo in either yellow or gold.
Yeah, it's going to be almost impossible because of how small it is for that two-tone look. You can see here.
Okay, so the best thing to do would be to engrave it then.
Yeah, just engrave it and then oil it. The engraving will be silver.
Right.
Yes.
Bare metal. Okay. All right. Would you like to take this case on? I realize it takes some time.
No, actually, just to engrave that logo, we can do here every about 20 minutes.
So I was hoping to do that high gloss black Cerakote on it also. Can that
So
be
there's
done?
really not a high gloss black Cerakote. It's really just a gloss Cerakote. It does not shine as much as this one. Can you show me the black?
I'm losing my voice. So we're trying to get a refinish on this and turn this into a company logo gun. Might have to just do it like it is.
This is our royal blue that we do. That's a high polish and then royal blue
Yeah,
finish.
see, that would be exactly like what I'm looking for right
Yeah,
there.
so this will run you around $9.50 to do that on there. And then that will include the engraving.
All right.
So we would engrave very deep your logo on the slide, and then do the high polish royal blue.
That would work.
Yeah, we can do that for you, no problem at all.
That's 900?
That'd be $9.50.
950. All right, we can do that.
Okay, let's do it. Log it in.
All righty, sounds like a winner. Oh, I don't have my name on this case anywhere, but we can fix that.
No problem. Just
I almost
need
took the image with me.
perfect. We'll download that now, and then all I need is you have an FFL or is it?
I do not.
Okay, we'll do it from your license. That's fine. No problem.
I'm thinking maybe I ought to go ahead and get guns from the FFL and have guns.
So now, did you want to do all your small parts in the high gloss as well? So it would just be the frame and the slide in the high royal blue. If you wanted to do everything, it would add another $300. And that would include all your pieces, the small parts, all your screws. Or if you wanted to do them in gold, you could do a black and gold. All the small about $1,300. So that'd be all royal blue, high polish, and then all your small parts would be gold.
We could do that.
Yeah? Okay, no problem. With that? Yep. Okay, perfect. We'll log it in. Question. Since you are doing such a nice job on this, plating and everything, did you want to add some nice scroll on the slide or something? Just to complement that, and then so you'll have it in the center of your logo, or did you just want the logo?
Kind of wanted to do the logo, like you could center it in
Yep.
right here, and then maybe do just a little bit like pen scrolling on the end.
Yeah, something similar.
That would look kind of cool, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll show you something that I did on a Kimber. It came out really nice. We can put it on both sides of your logo.
Yeah.
And instead of it saying Kimber, it'll have your logo.
Right.
So you're able to either pick it up in Kissimmee or we can mail it to you because it's considered gunsmithing. So
My wife would love to take a trip to Kissimmee.
yeah, well, we can do that. We can get it done for you. It'll be about 3-week turnaround at the moment. We'll get it done for you.
All right. We can
All right,
do that.
and then you can just swing by the house and pick it up or the shop.
Cool. Fantastic. That would work.
How are you guys?
Right here?
I'm gonna have to try one more time. The Wi-Fi was not on.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
It's disconnecting all day.
No, I'm Army veteran.
You're an Army veteran. Well,
Yes.
I'm law enforcement.
Hey, thank you for your service.
A long time ago, and you as well. All right, so, and what was your name again, sir?
Corey.
Corey, all right, Corey. So, everything you sell here is made by veterans?
No, it's a veteran-owned and operated company.
Okay.
It's like we do purchase things from overseas and things along that line.
All right.
But I designed the skull on these. That's the reason why there's so many skulls there, and we have the traditional ones up top.
Okay. All right, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, he loves Punisher stuff.
Nice.
I like this. You got the 1911s there. You got the Glocks there.
Yeah, these right here are nice little fully functioning keychains where you can actually rack the slide to the rear, and you can take the magazine out of these guys.
Yeah, I've got a 1911 one, but it's only about yay big. It's really
Nice.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. We got
That's very cool.
RFID wallets as well to keep your credit card secure. We
Very
got some
cool.
cool little lighters there.
You got a couple of knives here.
The Karambit knives and self-defense pens I stand behind so much has my company logo laser engraved on it.
Is this a glass breaker punch on the back of it?
It is.
Okay, so this has the glass breaker punch. Now this is actually something that's kind of important down here in South Florida. Let me put this down for a second. We've got a lot of water around here. We've got a lot of canals. The tip of this, you can put that against your window and push, and it will break the glass out of the car. When you go underwater in a car, there's so much pressure on that window from the water, you can't roll it down no matter what you do. The only way you're going to get out of that car is to break that glass. So having this pen has a dual function. It does have a safety aspect of it that can save your life. All right, so come and see Corey if you're interested in one of these. It's a gag we're playing with. When I was driving over here, I'm driving, right, and he goes, "Hey, Bill, look at this." And he sticks his hand right in front of my face as I'm about to stop behind the car. It just absolutely blinds me.
Yeah.
So we're putting that in as a blooper at the end. It should be funny.
Nice. Right on. Way. Best of luck, guys.
Without context, it may not be so funny, so I'll probably do an explanation beforehand. But, so, anyway.
Well, every Army veteran's going to find that hilarious because we did that to each other all the damn time.
Yeah. Oh, man, great. Yeah.
Oh, so we got artillery
Hey,
thermos.
look at this over here. From there, he used to say, "Melekiliki maka."
Ah, hawali makahiki ho. So he say Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I just told you Happy New Year.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, hey meyaiki. So then I tell you welcome.
Cool. Yeah. I don't remember a lot of the things that he taught me.
Right.
He taught me some words for some girl parts that we're not. We're just going to leave that completely. All right, look at that. That's belt fit.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
50 BMG.
Okay. I have one that is similar to this. Mine is a PPK, not a PPKS. The way you can tell the difference in these two, if you'll look at the beaver tail sticking out the back, the PPKS has a much smaller beaver tail on it. And the gun is actually physically larger in general. May I pick this up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you'll notice, now I've done videos on mine before, but mine, that last finger doesn't even touch the frame of this. But this is sticking down another 1/4 of an inch past that. So this gun is actually physically a bit larger, okay? And one thing I wanted to also point out is, if you notice, the whole time I've been holding this, where's my finger? It's off the trigger.
That's right.
Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot the gun.
No rules.
Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction until you're ready to use it, okay? Actually, that's wrong. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction, period. Okay, also, always keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use it. So we try to put something about safety in all of our videos. What else have I done here? Okay. I actually don't see anything else that I've done a video on here, Clyde.
On Instagram and on Facebook. Ohana Firearms, LLC.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
And that is your last name?
No, last name is Tantan.
Oh, okay, so that's just the company?
Yeah, it's just the company.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, my company actually has my name on it.
I see that.
Yeah, it's got pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
You know, but what are you going to do? Very cool. Okay, so what we have here, we've kind of talked about these before, but this is called an M1 Garand. Earlier I was talking about the M1A, which is the civilian version of the M14 rifle. This guy was its predecessor. This guy shot a 30-06 cartridge, all right? So it's a beautiful gun, and this gun, George Patton, George S. Patton, the general of World War II, tank commander, he said that this gun was the finest battle implement ever made. And to be honest, at the time, he was right. This thing was very reliable. There were other semi-automatic guns back then, but they just weren't as reliable as the M1 Garand. This thing, when you pull the trigger, it's gonna go. Every time, you're not gonna have any problem with it. This thing is a workhorse. So, there you go. Now, if you look back here on the back, this is kind of interesting. There's a door on the butt plate that you can open. In there, you would store your cleaning kit, and that's how you would keep your rifle clean in the field. The cleaning kit consisted of a string with a rope on it that you open the chamber up, drop that rope through the barrel, and then drug your cleaning patches through with that rope. And that's how you got this thing clean when you're in the field. Okay, your whole cleaning kit would actually shrink down to the size where you could put it inside of like something that looked like a cigar tube. This gun was used in World War II. It was used in Korea. This thing was used actually all over the world. and it's a tremendous, tremendous battle rifle. It's a really good piece. So I want to show you something. When you pull the bolt back on this and open it up, okay, you notice the bolt is locked back. Right here is the release. When you push that, okay, the bolt will come forward. At least it's supposed, well, sorry, you got to push this down first. All right, but this is your lock. This is how you lock it back. In any case, the clip gets pushed down. Now that clip, it's like a U-shaped piece of metal, and your cartridges fit into it. It would slip down into this little slot right here, okay, and the corresponding one on the other side, and then you would push that entire piece down. Now the problem with it is, if you didn't get your thumb out of the way, you'd end up with your thumb getting smashed by that bolt. And believe me, that's no fun. I've done it. They call that Garand thumb. It actually even has a name, Garand thumb. So this thing would bust your thumb in a heartbeat if you weren't really careful when you were loading it. So you want to watch your step if you're going to do one of these. Get your thumb out of the way. Hold the charging lever before you push this down and release it from there, okay? That's your M1 Garand. This thing was the GI's best friend back in the day, and it's heavy. It's a very heavy rifle, but that's one of the reasons why it makes such a good battle rifle. Believe me, if you got to knock somebody in the head with this, they're going to stay down. This thing will flat smash you. It has a bayonet lug on it. Now the bayonet, the back end of it hooks here on the handle, and there's a ring that goes around the front of the barrel here that fits on like that. Now that bayonet, originally they were made in 1909, and they were about that long, okay? This is a bladed bayonet, so you can't get those anymore. The only thing you can get is one that's cut down to about 9 or 10 inches long on the blade. I think it's 10 inches, as I recall. But they took in all those old 1909 bayonets from World War I rifles, and they cut them down and used them on these Garands. So that was your bayonet. All right, now on these M1 Garands, you can actually decock the gun. There is a way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Dry firing a gun is never a good idea, but remember, these guns all go back to World War II, so these are like, 80-year-old guns. They're not kids, so you want to respect that. Now to decock this thing, as you pull the hammer back, you'll feel it come back smoothly, and then it'll just kind of bump up against. That's where it's hitting the hammer. Just as it hits the hammer, you can pull that trigger and then allow it to go forward. Now, that will uncock the gun. I can't do it here at the gun show because the trigger has been tie wrapped back. That's the rules of the gun show. You have to have that for safety reasons. But believe me, you can decock it that way. So that's your M1 Garand, a World War II era rifle, and it's a really good gun. Okay, in 1947, a guy by the name of Mikhail Kalashnikov invented this gun. This receiver is actually a flat piece of sheet metal that has bends in it. Okay, it's bent on this corner, it's bent on that corner, it's bent on the top in a couple of places. Okay, so it's a very simple construction system on this gun. What Mikhail Kalashnikov got very lucky on was that this gun, right out of the box, functioned perfectly. I mean perfect. If you take this thing into battle, it is never going to miss a beat. It's going to fire no matter what you do. It's going to shoot. You pull that trigger, this guy's going to go. It's not like the AR-15. The AR-15 tends to be a lot more finicky about what ammunition it wants and all the rest. When these guys get dirty, they'll start to not be quite as reliable. This guy here, it will take a phenomenal amount of abuse and neglect and continue to function perfectly. It is why this is one of the most widely used battle rifles on the planet. All right, so we've talked about these before, but a minute ago we were talking about the M1 Garand. This is the AK-47, right? This thing is a fantastic battle rifle. I'm going to show you a couple of things that are different, okay? First, we're going to look at the Garands in just a second. So come down here. If you'll notice, the barrel is up on the top of the center line of the gun. Now, what does that mean? That means all the push comes back this way, and that's how your recoil hits your body. So you're going to perceive a lot of recoil on this gun. The AK-47 has the barrel down on the bottom of the action, and if you look at the center line, it comes right straight back into the buttstock, which means this gun does not have anywhere near the muzzle rise that the M1 Garand does. Okay, so it may kick as hard, it doesn't, but it may kick as hard, but you won't perceive anywhere near as much recoil out of this AK-47 as you will out of that bucking mule over there, because it does buck like a mule.
Guns for Less. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at buygunsforless.com.
And what's your name?
Josh.
And your website?
Buygunsforless.com.
Okay, perfect.
Cape Coral, Florida. Cape Coral?
Cape Coral.
Yep. So we have reviews, and we do most, like right now we did like the Beretta 1301, Benelli M4, we did Mechanic Rival. We haven't gotten into the older firearms, you know.
My mother-in-law lives over on Corkscrew Road.
Oh yeah, right there.
So you're right around the corner.
Yeah. Go visit her and come by the shop.
I will.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
The business card?
Absolutely.
Let me get one of those.
If you're coming up there, we have a private range outdoors. If you want to shoot a video, come out there.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll make a day of it. Come over and see you guys.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate it.
No, appreciate it.
Hey everybody, Bill 1911 here. Hey listen, if you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's really important to us. And make sure you like us, and by all means, come to visit us at AskBill1911.com.